Hi folks, welcome to another episode of Targeting the Youth. For those of you that are new on the channel, this is the video where I discuss and you guys tear it apart after of all the players on the current roster that are 25 years old and younger. So we will look at, guess who? Tage Thompson. My goodness, what a story this young man is becoming. So Tage, folks, has all of us talking today. My goodness, after last night. I wish he would have got one more point. That's the only regret I have of yesterday. I would have loved to seen him tie that record. But, you know, I don't remember when Perreault got that 7-point night. I just don't. I, of course, was following them. I just don't remember it. I don't remember it. Don't forget, I didn't have access to the Sabres games like you guys did when I was a kid. I lived out here in Montreal. It's not the same like now with the internet and cables all different and games all over the place. It wasn't like that. Not to the 80s did it start to pick up and I could start seeing a lot of Sabres games, you know. And, you know, Tage Thompson, folks, is my goodness, was I wrong about this guy a few years ago? Really, was I ever wrong about this guy? Like, I remember, you know, Kruger kept putting him on the first line. And I was like, what is he doing, putting Thompson on the first line, you know? Thompson was making all sorts of bad plays. I remember one time he passed it through his legs to nobody there and all sorts of stuff. And then he got that goal. Remember, you know when it changed, eh? You guys might remember this. I did a video on it too, and I was cracking up the whole night. Was he was in an in a shootout, and Thompson scored the winner. And like he just skated back, didn't put up his stick or nothing. He thought he was like Wayne Gretzky. I was like, oh my God, you know? So Thompson has been a pleasure to watch. I mean, did any of us know that this guy had a ripper like that? I mean, this guy can nail that puck. This guy, you know, absolutely, you know, and I think Olofsson has a great shot, but this guy, his shot's more deadly. It just is. It is, because Thompson, when he hits it, the puck comes right back out of the net even. I mean, this guy's just crazy. It's not only a surprise, what we've seen the last year and a bit with him, it's something that we have to give a lot of credit to Don Granato. We just do. I mean, once he put him at center, all of us had our doubts, right? We kind of had our doubts, which is normal. Did we really think this was a number one center? No. You know? Do we think he is now? Oh, yeah. We think we sure do. And, you know, that comment Abe made today to me and said, the thing is, what he goes with Tage Thompson, there's no ceiling on this guy. And he's right. There absolutely is no ceiling. What do we have here? I mean, do we have a 120-point guy one day? Do we? I don't know. I don't know. Do we have a guy that can get 50 goals, 80 assists one year? I don't know. Do we have a guy that his ceiling's 80 points? Maybe. I don't know. Really? You know, if he gets 50 goals this year, what are we looking at? We got him locked in all his prime. What are we looking at here? This is a serious, serious hockey player that we have here, and he's big. His release is as quick as anybody, I think, in the entire league. You know, he rivals Brett Hull, guys. He does. That release of his is so fast. It's almost scary. But I think what's important here, and why I want to talk a bit about Tage, not only because it's kind of what is in right now, the last 24 hours, but it's more along the lines of try and remember what you guys were saying about him a few years ago, and be honest to yourself. You know, I've been honest to myself. I didn't see this coming. No way. I did not see this coming. I did not think Tage Thompson would get 38 goals last year. I was hoping for 15 before the year, 20, maybe. But once he caught fire, I say he's going to get 30, and he's going to get a hat trick. I remember saying that in the videos before he did it. You could just see it coming. I mean, it was obvious. This shot of his and his reach. Guys, he honestly, we're getting a taste of what the Penguins fans had with Mario Lemieux. No, he's not Mario Lemieux. I get that. But we're getting a taste of it. is what I'm saying. Maybe a few games a year, he'll be Mario Lemieux. And that's pretty cool, really. If we could have Mario Lemieux 10 games a year, think about it, guys. Think about it. That's what we're staring at with Tage Thompson. We got like Mario Lemieux, maybe 10 games a year, and that's pretty damn awesome, you know? He is so dominant some nights, so dominant. Like since the third period, is this going to be a tear though, or does it end? That's the question, guys. What happens with Pittsburgh? Does he do it again? Because if he does it again, this might go on all year long. It just might. Weird things happen in sports, right? It just does. Yesterday was one of those nights. I just said, whatever, you know, let it keep. I didn't want the time to end on the clock at the end. I was hoping to be another period because of what was going on, all the magic I was watching yesterday, you know, Tage leading the way. This is really just such a special feeling for me. It's touching because we got so ridiculed for that trade. We got so ridiculed. I mean, they were calling it one of the worst trades in NHL history, especially on Toronto channels, you know? A lot of big Toronto channels were saying it was one of the worst trades in NHL history. And they just couldn't resist taking a shot at the Sabres, not realizing a few years can pass and somebody like me can expose this on the internet also. You know, that's why I won't do it on my channel, because I don't want to look like an idiot in 2 years from now. I already look like an idiot on some nights. I don't want to look like an idiot in the future too. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. I'd rather not. Like when I made my prediction about the Bruins this year, I meant it, and I still do. I don't think the Bruins will last, but I don't doubt them. That's a damn good organization over there. As much as we can't stand them, that's one hell of a hockey organization, guys. Any team that rivals Montreal the last half a century and has more wins than them after what I seen the Habs do in the 70s has to be an awesome organization. They just have to be. I remember the Bruins couldn't do nothing against the Habs for like 40 something years, and then they just got better and better and better. And the Bruins have only won one Stanley Cup since the Bobby Orr days, but that is one hell of a franchise over there. Really, it's one hell of a franchise that happened to run into great teams like the Edmonton Oilers, right? The New York Islanders. They ran into great teams along the way in their playoff runs that they just couldn't get through. And what we're building here, guys, with a guy like Tage, a superstar like Tage, because what he is. Last night he became a superstar. And when you got a superstar on your team, you got to look at it from one angle. Can he bring you to a Stanley Cup? And I do believe somebody like that can. I mean, how would you guys feel in the third period and we're passing it over to Tage Thompson and he's winding up for a shot? You're feeling pretty damn good, right? Late in the game. You know what I mean? That's what we have. He's that good. The way he just walks in with his big body, he's that good. It's not that he just tricks people. It's not that they're incapable. He's just, his body language fools them. He's so slick and good at moves with his big frame. So we got to look at it like, we got to watch what the big teams do and kind of copy what they do. Because once you get that team, and we got them winning, guys, and I'm talking winning, when they're winning and this team is really where we want it to be, okay, we got to maintain it after. Bruins have maintained a winning culture for 50 years. 50 years. There's no fluke to that. It's impossible that's a fluke. The Bruins missed the playoffs, what, 3 times in the last 50 years? Something like that. They hardly miss, you know? So there's teams that just are like that and win a lot because it's expected when you come to their organization to win. And that's what we're building here. And hopefully we're going to maintain it, guys. Not just get there, maintain it. Because that's what we did for a pretty long time in Buffalo. We did. The knock on the Sabres back then, guys, was they just can't win a Stanley Cup. That was the knock on us. Then the new knock became they're the worst team in NHL history. This was the new thing out there with the young kids today in their 20s that know nothing about our history, you know, that hate on all the teams but their own. I think we're headed to Stanley Cup. That's what I feel after what I seen last night. All right, guys, I'm leaving it there. I'll see you in the nightcap in a few minutes.